Hello, fellow sages. Welcome to Lore Academia. I am DMPaulG, and I'm here to guide you, or probably you're here to guide me in extracting lore about the Moonshae Isles here in the Rising Shadows storyline. All right, we got some people here. Chaos Hammer, nice to meet you here. Hello, hello. And welcome. If you weren't here yesterday, got some big news because this channel just got promoted or leveled up to Twitch affiliate. So, woo, good job to all of us. And that means we can get some customized emotes. And one of our mods, Chaos Hammer, is already, if you're not part of Discord, it'll be great. And you want to participate, you want to join, talk about conversation. Talk about conversation. You want to have a conversation about, which emotes we're supposed to make, or talk about some lore about the Moonshae Isles or any D&D related, or even, just random stuff. Feel free to join us on our Discord. Probably one of our mods can post a link there. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, what's this? We'll have, Chaos Hammer in Discord is already like putting out some custom emails that we can use, and they look great. Some of them are funny. And when I woke up, I saw them. They're like, oh man, this is gonna be great. But yeah, and then I also have, what's this? I also asked like a local artist to make some emotes for us. So we're gonna have tons of emotes in the future. I know I'm looking at like the Twitch settings and stuff, and it says that we can have like 5 free emotes, like for viewers, not even subscribers. Like if you're just a follower or something, or like a viewer in this channel, you can have like 5. You can use like 5 custom emotes from this channel. But we first have to stream for like 60 days before we can unlock that feature. So that's something to look forward to. That's like one of our step goals, is to unlock that, like the free emotes. So that's like 5 slots of free emotes. You don't have to be a subscriber. You don't have to pay for anything. No. But that's like 60 days. I don't think it's like after 60 days, 60 calendar days, like 60 days of streaming. So that means I have to stream like 60 times, not 60 times, but like on 60 different days within a 2-year period to unlock that feature. So there. So that's that. If you're new here, this is your first time joining Lore Academia, or you got lost or somehow ended up in this channel, what do we do here? Well, I am an adventure writer, and basically a third-party self-published adventure writer, mostly for Dungeons and Dragons Adventures League, which is the 5th edition organized play system, and I'm also one of the storyline leads for the Moonshae Isles under Ballman Games, together with Savannah Houston McIntyre. Hey, Ninja Gal is also here. Where's the DMPaulG emoji? It's not yet approved. For some reason, it's taking a while, because I know like when we have like the GS or Greasy Snitches stream, which is I'm also part of, it only took like a few hours to do that. But now, for some reason, it's taking a while. Probably because it's like a person's face. It's like my literal face. I'm using as an emote, but it's not getting approved yet. So hopefully it gets approved in the future, like soon, like next week. Yeah. So anyway, going back, what do we do here? Since I'm an adventure writer and I'm one of the storyline leads for the Moonshae Isles, we're looking at different source materials, mostly adventures, talk to people, and extract as much lore as we can to know more about this setting in the Forgotten Realms, which is the Moonshae Isles, a group of islands uh, west of the Sword Coast, which is where Waterdeep, Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter located. And then if you just sail west to the Sea of Swords, you'll arrive at a group of islands, and that's where the Moonshae Isle is at. And yeah, so that's it. So all of our stream VODs, if they're not on Twitch anymore, you can see them on YouTube. So just search for DMPaulG, you'll find it there. And yeah, if you don't have time running this game, or you're contemplating if you should run any of the adventures that we're reading, here we go. Obviously, there will be tons of spoilers here. So if you're not ready for that, then unfortunately, I don't think this content is for you, because we're gonna be talking like spoilers nonstop from different adventures and so on. There, so that's it. Man, I'm getting better at like this intro, right? Like explain what's happening, what we do here, all that stuff. All right, just like self pat. Okay. And since yesterday we started the Moon5 trilogy, and now we're gonna continue with that, and this is gonna be Moon5-2 Bloodlust Contain. Again, this is part of the Rising Shadows storyline, produced by Ballman Games, and like the storyline, the story architect here is Eric Mengi, which is again like huge respect to that guy, because he was able to create this whole storyline. There's like let me show the story path. There's like 20 parts in this, and like except for Moon 1 and Moon 20, each part here, each circle that you see there is composed of 3 adventures. So that's like a total of 60 plus, if my math is correct. Or like close to 60. And yeah, so that's a lot of adventures. And just think of like grabbing a writer, asking them to write an adventure for you, getting an editor, layout artist, finding the cover, all that stuff, and then promoting this adventure, premiering it at a convention, all that work. It's not easy. So huge props to Eric Mengi for bringing us this gem. Yeah. So right now we're at Moon5 trilogy, and I think what was called the Tides of Blood trilogy, right? So we're going to Moon5-2. This is written by Ben Sandfelder. No, sorry, I butchered that. Sandfelder. And this is a level 5 to 10 D&D adventure that can be played for Adventures League, which is again the organized play system for D&D 5th edition. Okay. Also, if you're not, what's this? I just saw like a YouTube video, because now that the OGL stuff is over, Wizards of the Coast are going back to playtesting 1D&D. Actually, they're not calling it 1D&D anymore. They're just having it like Unearthed Arcana. And I don't think they mentioned, I think there was a tweet about it. Like they didn't mention it as 1D&D anymore. So I don't know if that's a thing or they just missed it. But playtesting will resume tomorrow. I think they're gonna take out like release like a druid class playtest material. So I'm excited for that. Excited for 2024. Well, that's when they plan to release this new player's handbook. But you know, it's less than a year or a year they have a year left. Hopefully, that's enough time for them to produce like a quality product. Because if that tanks, oof, that's gonna be bad. So anyway, and that's just a bit of D&D update that I got. And yeah, let's go with this adventure because I'm excited. What's going on? We have like we're in Moon 5. We're now dealing with the Northlanders. We're still in the Isle of Alaron. Let's show our super cool map. We're still in the Isle of Alaron, but we're no longer like on the southern part or even on the Fairheight Range area. We're now in the northern part of Alaron, and we're at the Jarldom of Narhelm. Okay, where the Northlanders rule. And we went to we started in Narhelm town here. And then where's my, what happened? I lost, there we go. Apparently, I can't use the highlighter anymore. There you go, got it back. We're here in Narhelm, started in Narhelm, and then a day's ride, we able to arrive at a settlement or a small village of Enga. And there are these, what do you call them? Cultists of Tempus. They call themselves the Guardian of the North. And the leader, Scory Borson, is actually a folk, not a Northlander. Folk with 2 F's. And that was banished from or exiled from Enga, the small village of Enga, because of killing somebody. And a group of Northlander raiders found him, took him in, and now he wants to just, through the Guardians of the North, wants to spread this belief that now it's time for the Northlanders to embrace like the old tradition, right? Which is not clear yet, because if we're talking about the old tradition of Northlanders of pillaging, burning villages, settlements, and stuff, then yep, that's not cool. So there. And yeah, that's like a loud motorcycle that just passed by. Anyway, so that's what's happening. That's what happened last adventure. Now let's see what's happening now, because it looks like the Bloodlust will be contained, and I wonder what will happen next. So here, let's read the blurb. An unexpected enemy has appeared, attacking with ferocious bloodlust and unknown purpose. The locals can't defend against this threat forever, and heroes are needed to discover who is responsible for the attacks and stop them for good. Is it the Guardians of the North? Is it Scory? Because I know Scory also worships Yunogu, right? And is this going to be more gnolls appearing and attacking the folk and Northlanders? We'll see. But that's my assumption. This is part 2 of the Tides of Blood trilogy set in the Moonshae Isles, brought to you by Balman Games, a 4-hour adventure module that you can play homebrew or for Adventures League for level 5 to 10 characters. Again, written by Ben Sandfelder. So let's go. And we're going to skip this part. We're going to go straight to Adventure Primer. Oh, we don't have a quote. And then let's see what happens here. Moon5-2 Bloodlust Contained is set in the proud Jarldom of Narhelm, considered weak by other Northlanders because of extensive influence from folk to the south. Oh, this is an interesting take or like view. So like the Northlanders in Narhelm, or basically in the Isle of Alaron, is viewed different by the other Northlanders from other isles, I'm assuming, because yeah, here they're saying they are considered weak because again, the Isle of Alaron, that's where the seat of power is at. That is where the High King of the folk resides. If we open the map, we move south a bit in Caer Caladir. This is the capital of the Kingdom of Caladir. Uh, this is where the High King of the folk uh, and High King Dared Kendrick is located. So, and remember, I think it was in the novels, in the books, the grandmother of High King Dared Kendrick, Alicia Kendrick, kind of united the Northlanders and the folk together. Because again, the folk, the one that's spelled with two F's, kind of settle or like the first settlers, human settlers here in the Moonshae Isles. And then you have the Northlanders. Most of them are like for Icewind Dale or Spine of the World. Came here to the Moonshae Isles, trying to survive, and start pillaging, burning places, looting, all that stuff. So there's war between these two human settlers. But then Alicia Kendrick, High Queen Alicia Kendrick, was able to kind of unite them, brokered peace, and that has been maintained. However, now we're seeing some issues. So there's like a lot of political intrigue involved here. They allow themselves to be shackled to Caer Caladir. I live as a free Northlander. All right, we'll see. All right, and in reality, though, I guess I can understand. Not really understand them. I'm trying to understand them because again, I have this bad habit of try. I don't know if it's a bad habit, but whenever I see villains or basically not the main character or like the heroes in a story, I try to analyze what's going on, what made them choose the path of evil, villainy, or make them commit a mistake in that story or a series of mistakes. Rather. And now looking at the Northlanders, who are again kind of inspired by like the Vikings, and then just go here and at least like medieval times, arrive at a land and try to invade these lands, and then they look at this group of Northlanders as just being chummy with their supposed to be ally now, but they're enemies before, and like why are you like that? I could see the Northlanders from other islands are like, let's see where are the northern islands here, because that's the one where we have a lot of Norland. So you have the Jarldom of Norland. That there's a lot of Northlanders there, obviously, and then also here at Norheim as well. You have a lot of Northlanders there. And then I don't know what's in Corin Archipelago, so I have no idea. And then in Narhelm, the Northlanders here are viewed differently. So we'll see. We'll hopefully we'll learn more as to why that is. All right, the dogs are awake. They're ready. They're ready for this adventure. Where are we? They make their money through mining and spend their free time on horseback instead of on sailing ships. Ew. They're doing normal jobs instead of being free and in the ocean sailing, they're loyal subjects of High King Dared and the local Jarl Ulf Helmundsson. Not everybody is happy with the state of affairs in Narhelm, and dark forces have used this discontent to cause strife and unrest. Excuse me. Get some water here. Let's read more. Adventure background. For decades, Kaolin ni Briolin has served the Fomorian Queen Koname of Vortomel as a loyal shield maiden. Wow. But she has always wanted more. Okay. Hungry for power. I like it. She's desperate to advance her position in court, but her ambitious, risk taking nature has caused her queen to limit her to tasks of only minor importance. This made her an ideal ally for Scory Borson, a cultist of Yinogu who is stirring up trouble on the Isle of Alaron. His organization, the Guardians of the North, believe that the Northlanders of Alaron should return to their roots as Reavers. Let's get a good definition of Reavers, because I think this is the goal. They want us to go. They want the Northlanders to go back to their like old traditions, and here they specifically say that they want them to be Reavers again. So, what is a Reaver? Uh, one who reaves. God damn it! Don't give me this. Go on a plundering raid. Plunderers, basically. Yeah, so it is like the evil. So back to like evil traditions of pillaging, plundering, burning houses, and causing violence. That is not good. And people and some of the Northlanders kind of agree to this too. Like we should go back to our old ways. That's what they're saying. Some in Moon 5-1, some of the Northlanders are okay with it. And remember that Scory Borson is not a Northlander. Okay, the leader of the Guards of the North, who's kind of making people like steering this trouble and making the Northlanders think that they should go back to their roots of becoming Reavers again. This guy is not a Northlander. Okay. They allow them. I mean, it's a survival strategy, not exactly evil. Many ants are Reavers. We don't call them evil. But again, they're now in a time of peace. They can survive without causing trouble, right? So going back to that, I think is an act of evil, right? Uh, and even if it is a survival strategy, that is still like, of course, there are many ways of that you can try to survive. I know it's not easy to implement, right? It's not as easy as how we're talking about it. There are diplomatic options to survive. But again, we talked about this yesterday, how the Northlanders in Icewind Dale or Spine of the World, like just waking up and surviving the day. That's your daily life, like making sure that you don't freeze to death, that you can actually find something to eat, something to hunt in a in that tundra where like it's so cold and ruled by a malevolent deity, Oril, who wants to make Icewind Dale its home. It's crazy, and it makes you understand why they took that path. And grab a ship, let's worship some other gods that may not be good, but if they can keep us alive, make us survive, let's worship Umberly, let's worship Tempest. We'll give them war, we'll give them offerings, as long as they can give us to a place where we can survive, a warmer place to live. And they found the Moonshae Isles, and you know what? That's what they did. Killed more people, tried to take their lands, plunder, pillage stuff. there. But now, so even that act, I think, is evil, right? They chose to be evil because they want to survive. And now, where they have more options, they still want to go back to that route. They still want to go and do those things that happened before, even though they know they can survive now without fighting. That is evil. It's easy enough for those of us with a better life to say, "Don't do that. It's not good." While in Icewind Dale, people are like, "How dare you say we can't do this?" Yeah, and which is, it's all relative, and which is what's fun about this, right? Which is why I'm loving the Moonshae Isles. Uh, before 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 I became like the storyline coordinator for the Moonshae Isles, my knowledge about the setting is very limited. That's the reason why we're doing this. That's why we're doing Lore Academia, to learn more about the Moonshae Isles, because god dang, I don't know much about the Moonshae Isles. And the more I read about them, like the culture of the people that are here, like they're so different, um, and their beliefs are also different, and they also want their culture or their beliefs to be like on top of the other people's or races or creatures that are here, uh, to be dominant, right? And some just wants to coexist. Some wants the others to disappear. Some do not care about the others as long as they get what they want, right? So you have the Fae, you have the Kingdom of Sandfelder, you have the Lachey, you have these Northlanders, you have the folk, then you have the dwarves, right, and the gnomes, and then you have in the Lachey and the Fey Kingdom of Sandfelder, and then there are other Fey courts involved here. You have, let's for example, Queen Conome of Vortormel, and then you also have the Great Gark, which is the Goblin King involved. So it's like the political intrigue, that is not just on a like human or humanoid scale, but it involves like different creatures and like groups of what do I say that? I don't want to say race, but uh, it transcends more than just like it transcends more to like human conflict. Like this involves like the Feywild. This involves like Shadowfell, and then you have like demons involved in this as well. So it's fun. And then when you try to look like who is evil here, right? Who's the bad guy? And once you figure out, or once you start saying, all right, I think the Northlanders, when they arrive here in the Moonshae Isles, I think they're evil. All right. But why? Why did they turn to the dark side? Right? Why did they chose that path? And then you realize why. They just trying to survive. Just make sure, you know what? I'll take rain. If it rains here every day, I'll take it. This is like heaven on earth, or in the Forgotten Realms, compared to dying in cold, out in the spine of the world, or an Icewind Dale. So, which makes Moonshae Isles fun as setting and playing D&D. If you're into that, uh, you want to learn more about the different cultures in the Moonshae Isles, and then having that conflict, like having that moral compass, like who should I side with? This one is doing this, but the reason why they're doing that is for this reason, which is they good intention but evil execution, something like that, which is fun. And I'm gonna stop there so we can go back to reading this adventure. Yeah, the Moonshae Isles, I've fallen in love with this setting, this the small group of islands here in the Forgotten Realms, um, as you can tell. Anyway, Scory seeks to justify this by pitting the Guardians against an external threat, the Null mercenaries under his control. Scory can't lead both sides of the conflict though. So, yeah, I think that's a typo. So he offered command of the Nulls to Keolin, which is again one of the you know one of the fake creatures, I think, that follows Queen Koname or reports to Queen Koname. As she plays along with the demonologist's scheme, Keolin secretly initiated her own gambit. Oh man, change of plans. Change of plan, boys. All right. uh, oh man, giving me those Warcraft 3 human campaign vibes, turning to your own hired mercenaries as the enemy just because they are different monsters looking. Yeah. But all right, so Scory is like the manager of the Guardians of the North, or basically like the CEO of Guardians of the North, and says, you know what, we need conflict here, because I also worship Inogu, which is a demon lord. How about we have some Null mercenaries, but I can't be the CEO of the Guards of the North and the Null mercenaries. So I'm assigning you as the manager of the Null mercenaries, and then assigns it to Keolin. But Keolin, as a manager, says, you know what? I'm going to run this a bit different than our CEO. And hopefully, if everything works well, then I'll get promoted. Right. And I think that's what she's about to do here. So she plans to exhaust Scory's Null armies by running them up and down on the island. Okay? Haldis, Ulfsdottir, and the Isle's defenders are similarly fatigued as they rush to respond to the Null's seemingly random attacks. Meanwhile, Keolin has secretly brought her own allies from Vortomil, other Fomorians, evil druids, and oh, I'm excited. I wanna see evil druids. Like, this is gonna be great. Okay, and Fae and loyal warlocks. Okay, by using Scory's forces to defeat Narham's defenders, she can destroy the fiefdom's defenses without any risk for Vor Tomil. Okay. Keolin's hope is that the risky gambit will pay off, that her exploitation of Scory's forces leaves the door open for Vor Tomil to invade Narham. When the island falls under Keolin's control, Queen Koname has no choice but to recognize Keolin's prowess and adjust her rank accordingly. Give me that promotion, please. I'm liking this. I hope it's good. Oh, please be good. Please be good. Hope this adventure is good. So we have, what do we have? Locations and NPC summary. So we have Alaron. Game mechanics question. Long time ago, being neutral or chaotic or lawful was fine. Was a prerequisite for being a druid for a time. What's it like now in character creation? Um, Alignment basically has no hold over mechanics now, except for like specific, like one or two magic items. That's it. Like you have to be this alignment to be able to use this magic item. But in terms of being a druid or choosing a certain class, subclass, alignment doesn't matter. So you can be like a chaotic evil paladin who doesn't even worship a deity. That's fine. You can be a cleric that doesn't worship a deity, and that's okay. Same for druids. Yeah. Uh, Robe of the Magi and Candle of Invocation. Yep, those items require you to be like depends on like the color of the robe. Uh, you have to be of certain alignment. Other than that, I don't see where you can use alignment aside from role playing. That's it. And in Adventures League, you can like switch your alignment like in a moment's notice. Like, oops, okay, now I've decided to be lawful good. You know what? You have showed me the way. I'm now gonna be lawful from now on. Or Scory gives like starts preaching about Northlanders doing their old going back to their old ways. They're, okay, then now I'm chaotic evil again. You can do that in Adventures League. Well, you can't be evil, but what I'm saying is changing your alignment in a snap. That's it. In a home game, that will probably be different. So, yeah. Um, all right, so we have Alaron, one of the largest islands in the Moonshae region. After 100 years of peace and unity under the banner of House Kendrick, the island is in decline. Yeah, hiking Derrid Kendrick is having a hard time, like having a firm grasp of his kingdom with all the again problems with the Omnians to the south, the Dark Fae slash and Sealy Fae attacking, um, the dwarves and gnomes having problems in the Fairheight range, and then now these Northlanders having issues as well. Like everybody is asking for the king's help, or almost everybody. Yeah. Last moment before the PC die, I accept Bahamut as our Lord and Savior. As Lord and Savior, and boom, instant you go to Celestia. I think that's like what's this? Like in real life, like you know what you YOLO, you live your own way. Doesn't matter. Don't follow like whatever the teachings are for certain religions. And then when you're like close to dying, please Lord save me. I accept you with all my heart, and then please forgive me for all my sins. And then, boom, you die. You assume or like you think that you're gonna go to heaven, which is probably to who knows. All right. Anyway, going back, Narhelm. I keep seeing fiefdom, but what is the meaning of this? An area over which someone exercises control as a manner of a feudal lord. Okay. Am I pronouncing it right? Oh, I'm not. Fifth. It's fiefdom, not fiefdom. It's fiefdom. Okay. Okay, so it's like a feudal system. Okay. I like it. Yeah, it's fief. Yeah. It's fiefdom. I've been saying fiefdom for like, I don't know, thrice now. All right. You know what? Let's write that here. New words. An area ruled by a feudal lord. Okay. Five me. Parcels, several fiefs, which are parcels of land with bound manservants, if I remember correctly. Okay. Okay. So we have that. So it's not a kingdom because there's no king that rules it. Okay. A fiefdom on the northwest part of the Isle of Alaron. Although its people answer to High King Derrid, it has its own king known as a Jarl. Yeah, so again, this change happened from 4th edition to 5th edition. You know, in 4th edition, like the rulers of the Northlanders, they are called king. But after the Northlanders and the folk kind of united under House Kendrick, they change it to, instead of kings, they're now called jarls. There. And we have Haldis Ulfsdottir, the heir to the throne of Narhelm and the leader of the Fiefdom's defenses. She is spirited commander who leads from the front. Nice. And then we have Keolin, Ni Brialin. Chaos Hammer. You're right about the pronunciation. I don't think this was in the previous one. But here we go. A Fomorian. So she's also a Fomorian. Let's actually write that. Oof, what happened to my... There we go. Notes. Where is it? So we have... We already know Haldis, but let's put Keolin here. Fomorian reports to Queen Conome of Vordomil. Okay. You have that. And then she's commanding the Gnolls in Narhelm at the request of Scory Borson, but secretly she's using his forces for her own agenda. And then you have Scory Borson. Yeah, all right. Loyal Shield Maiden. A Fomorian who is a loyal Shield Maiden to Queen Conome of Vordomil. Worshipper of Yenogu, leader of the Guardians of the North Cult, lover of Northland culture, but born of folk blood and exile for past deeds. This reminds me of... Have you seen The Last Samurai? The one with Tom Cruise? Got exiled, accepted by the shogun, and become like a samurai and fight like a samurai until the end. But you're not. I like that. Yeah, a lot of people hate it. It's there's like there are a lot of issues about it. And because turning it to a Hollywood, making Japanese samurais into putting its Hollywood stuff on it, putting a white guy. I don't know, but doesn't matter. I like that movie. And it was fun. But this is what Scory reminds me of, right? It's funny for the people who hate it for that reason. I know, yes, because I know a lot of Japanese folks who I saw it. I saw a lot of. You can also find it in YouTube. A lot of people actually, like in Japan, like that movie. But what's this? But what I'm trying to say is this reminds me, Scory Borson reminds me of Tom Cruise. But only more on the evil side instead of, being an honorable samurai. Has like a feudal system too, right? It's feudal Japan era. But here Scory is worshipping Yenogu instead. And wants everyone to start plundering and, destroying villages and towns. The Scientologist Tom Cruise. Oh man, let's not talk about that. They might knock on my door and then we're dead. Actually, it's kind of like the mirror to Tom Cruise. Rather than being captured and understanding what makes the people, he continues with the precepts he had already. You know what? You're right. Yeah. And then we have Yenogu, who is described here as the demon prince of Gnolls. One of his followers, Scory Borson, is planning to cause carnage across the island as a tribute to the Demon Lord. Okay. So just Scory's offering to Yenogu is by just mass murder. That's it. The carnage here. Uh Sinu? Probably. But what's this? Oh, I was about to say something. Borson, they could have made a better name, right? If it's like related to Yenogu. Uh could be like a, I don't know, something more related to gnolls or hyenas or something, but they chose Borson. Okay. Series Moon5-2 Bloodlust contained is the second part in the Tide of Blood trilogy. In the trilogy, the characters deal with the consequences of the alliance between the demonologist Scory and a giantess from the Isle of Oman. In Moon5-1, the characters learn that there's a large group of gnolls with demon backup posed to raid the fiefdom of Narhelm. In Moon5-3, the characters will deal with the true culprit behind the gnoll attacks, which is either the Shield Maiden, Kaolin, or it's gonna be Scory. If what else? What else do we have? Where is that? The characters are assumed to play this trilogy in order. All right, we read this part already, and if you didn't, there's a way for you to run it or make some changes to this. Okay, so we're gonna skip that. Adventure overview. In Moon5-2, the party makes their move against Kaolin's forces. During a chance encounter, they discover that the gnolls ravaging Narhelm are especially interested in 4 locations. Oh, I like this. Haldis Ulfdoktir, the leader of the forces resisting the gnolls, hires the party to investigate these locations. As they investigate, they discover Kaelin's secret hideout and true agenda. Okay. Part 1. There are 4 parts to this. Oh, there's an interlude. Wow, this design is different. Like, adventure design is different. The party comes close, has a close encounter with marauding gnolls on their way to meet Haldis, and they learn about the gnolls' plans for the island. And then we have an interlude, which is first time I've seen that in an adventure. If the party explores the village of Ota, they encounter some members of the Guards of the North who are clueless of the larger plot. Part 2, the party investigates 4 locations the gnolls are interested in, which are Hardanghite Peak, Nimer's Pass, the source of the Ironflow River, and the village of Ota. At each location, they learn a bit about Kaolin, the Gnolls' Fomorian master, and her hideout. In part 3, the party finds a way into Kaolin's stronghold, an abandoned druid hideout called Iron Source Cave. I love that name. I should be writing stuff. Why am I not writing stuff? What's that again? The 4 locations. Hardingan's Peak, Numerous Pass, and then we have the source of the Ironflow River, and then the village of Ota. Okay, and then we have the Iron Source Cave. Abandoned Druid Hideout. Okay. Where Kaolin's stronghold is located. Oh, the village. That's probably how I pronounce it too. Uh, just trying to get it to the author's mindset. I'm guessing the interlude doesn't actually have any quest specific goals, but does have a lot of lore. So I'm looking. I'm thinking that what the author did is part one, instead of the usual call to action where you meet the NPC, they give you the quests. The author starts it off with a combat encounter, and then you have the call to action after. So I think that's why you have the interlude. So after the combat encounter in part one, then you talk to the NPC and you get more information about what's going on and what your quests should be. That's what I'm thinking. Uh, and then what else? What do we have? Part three, we find that which is, did I write that already? Iron Source Cave. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then in part four, in the conclusion, the party follows Kaolin through a rift to the Feywild and brings her to justice. Okay, so we're going to the Feywild. I just noted it says if the party explores. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how the design process, or like what's the design of this adventure or how it was designed. Hooks, adventure hooks that you as a dungeon master can use. So your player, you could bring your player's characters into this setting and to this adventure, right? If you're running this as a one shot or continuation from the previous adventure, you have your adventure hooks here. So Bloodlust Rising. So if they played 5-1, then they are already in the Moonshae Isles and aware of the growing null threat. After the events of the adventure, Haldis asks the players to meet with her. Narhelm needs heroes. Haldis has put out a call for heroes to help combat a growing null threat. The characters sail to the Moonshae Isles and make their way to Haldis camp. And then Moonshae Trade League. So if you're part of this group or faction, there's a missing shipment. The merchants from were supposed to deliver some supplies to the village of Ota in Narhelm, but they are overdue. In light of this growing null threat, the Moonshae Trade League has asked any members in the area to investigate. Actually, let's look at the map. Are these like real places here? Let's see. Oh, I see. The Lake of Ota is here. Oh, it's right here. The place exists. What else? What does it say on our notes? There are 4 locations. Harding Height Peak. So right here, you have this place, the village of Ota, and then the source of Ironflow River. Where's the Ironflow River? This is the Farfair River. Ironflow is right here. Oh, and then Nimrus Pit is right here. Nice. Well, it says Nimrus Pass. So I'm saying it's somewhere here. Is there a Nimrus Pass? No, I think that's it. Okay. So you have that one. Ota. Harding Height Peak. And then Nimrus Pass somewhere here. And then down to the river. Ironflow River. You drew over the place where the passes probably is. Probably. Probably here, right? The pass is here. It looks like there's a path here. Right? Look at it, like how it's drawn. Let's zoom in. Can I zoom in? Oof. Pixels. Love it. All right. Look how it's drawn. Like there's a passageway here. So, all right. So these plays already exist. They're not. They weren't like made up for this adventure. So that is cool. That means we get to flesh out like what's in what are in these places. Okay, let's see how they handle. The author has handled that. All right, going back to the adventure, we go to part one because we have 4 parts here plus an interlude. A brush with danger. 45 minutes of play is the estimated time for this part. The adventure begins as the party makes their way to the camp of Haldes Ulfsdoktir. Traveling through the forest in the late evening brings the party dangerously close to a band of marauding gnolls. See 1A for the map of Narham, which we already look at the move of the map of Alaron. We're all good. And general features of the area: the Moonshae Isles are famously foggy. Yes, it's beautiful and scenic, but an inconvenience to travelers and monsters alike. The terrain is sparse and hilly forests. The whole area is lightly obscured by fog, and it's dusk, so the area is bathed in dim light, and the air is filled with the smell of pines. Oh, that's good. Eerily quiet, save for the rustling and branches of the wind. Good job. Missed opportunities. I love it. Okay, that is a great title. Good job. Um, who's the author again? Ben. Good job, Ben. Missed opportunities. Wow, that is good. If I can give him inspiration, he'll get one from me. The adventure starts with the characters on the road, heading towards Haldes army camp, either reacting to a call for adventures or returning from a patrol, allowing the player some time to buy supplies to prepare spells. The characters are expecting to deal with the Gnoll raiders, with rumors suggesting demon and face support. When ready, read aloud and paraphrase the following. As you make your way to the campsite of Haldes Ulfsdoktir forces, you find yourselves following a winding dirt road through a sparse forest. It's twilight, and between the dimming light and the notorious fog of the Moonshae Isles, you can barely see more than 10 feet in front of you. Oh, this is like Silent Hill vibes. The rustling of branches occasionally breaks the eerie silence. Along the way, you've been surprised to stumble into a few armed figures wandering through the fog, other adventurers with the same destination. So, this is where we do character introduction, I guess. Yes, so take some time to do character introduction. Well, what are you doing here? Okay. The typical sounds of an evening forest are broken by the bestial cackle of hyenas coming from farther up the path. The faint orange glow of a campfire ahead silhouettes hunch hyena like creatures. You can hear them talking in their growling, guttural language. You don't think they've spotted you yet. And we see 3 Gnoll flesh knowers, 4 Gnoll hunters, and 1 pack lord here in this campsite. So we have a few options that we can do. We're gonna skip the adjusting the encounter because again we're here for the lore, right? So there are things we can do. We can eavesdrop if we can understand what they're saying, or we cast comprehend languages. We can understand that what's being said. The gnolls are restless and complaining about being stuck in the same place for so long. The pack leader agrees. We have our targets. We could strike whenever we wanted. Okay. Rush in headlong. We can fight them right there if you want, and we're gonna have a surprise round, or wait until nightfall. So if we wait for the night, disappointed to discover the gnolls are nocturnal. Even though the gnolls are still awake, it's easier to sneak around them at night than in broad daylight. Okay? We can do stealth, fight, 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 possession without rolling. What else? You can use to create a moment of tension. Okay, fighting the gnolls. If you want to steal from them, what can we steal? We have some treasures here. The gnolls have assorted trinkets and salvage worth 100 gold pieces. Nice. The gnoll packlord is carrying a skull case filled with a long roll of parchment with instructions on it written in gnoll language. I love this. It's written in gnoll instead of abyssal. So it will be difficult for any adventurers to actually understand what's going on here. So they really have to cast like comprehend languages for this one. In massive handwriting, a player who reads it can glean the following information. There's someone in front of me doing weird stuff. The gnolls and their allies are gathering at 3 locations: Handang Height Peak, Nimmer's Pass, and the source of Ironflow River. These locations are all easy landmarks to find on a map. Okay, so we have that. And then we have the village of Ota is their next target, but the gnolls were instructed to wait until my signal. The note is signed by someone named Kaolin. Got it. So we can get a lot of information here. So we know where they're going, and then we know that they're going to the village of Ota, and we get to know the name Kaolin. And then we also get to question the gnolls. If we capture them alive, we learn we learn the same thing. Gnolls respect strength but are relatively easy to convince to talk. The creatures know that Kaolin is... Oh, this is new information that we can learn as adventurers. We learn that Kaolin is a giant, but they do not know what kind. They fear her but seem to be a bit disdainful. The Fangs of Yinogu made an alliance of convenience with the giant, but they do not trust the Fey mages she's bringing to the island. Of course, the gnolls have no idea where Kaolin is hiding. Obviously, Haldis Ulfsdoktir will be interested in anything the party finds out. Okay, let's try to digest that. We learned that Kaolin is a giant, but we don't know yet that she's Fomorian and reports to Queen Koname, or serves Queen Koname. But we see here that the Fangs of Yinogu, or these gnolls that serves Yinogu, have made an alliance with the Fae. So it's a familiar theme now that we're seeing. Orcs teaming up with the Fae, and then actually teaming up with the same Fae. It's Queen Koname again. And then Shadow Dragon teaming up with Queen Koname. And then now we have the gnolls teaming up with Queen Koname's Shield Maiden. So is there like a path here in this storyline where we have to fight Queen Koname? Right? It feels like she's manipulating some of the stuff here. Right? And then we have Lady Eliza Darisin from the Viceroy of Westphal from who's working with the Dark Fae as well, right? Made a pact with Granny in Durnal Forest, but say that she allied herself with the Dark Fae / Unseelie Fae, but it's not specific. It was if that was also like from the court of Vor Tormil, or other unseelie group, right? Or other Fey group. But yeah, we're learning more and more about, or we're seeing more of Queen Konome's forces in these adventures as we go along in these trilogies, right? Okay. So maybe she becomes like a big enemy in the future, since there's like build up here happening. This is like the second trilogy now, right? What happened again in Moon 4? It's Moon 4 is about Lady Erliza, but it's not fleshed out, or it's not clear who she's working for, or with, who she's working with. We know it's an Ancili Fae, but we don't know who. Or is it only Granny and that's it? No. Anyway, going back. Meeting Haldis. Once the characters are through with the Knolls, they resume their journey towards the Narhelm military camp. Here, the adventurers meet Haldis Ulfsdottir, the future ruler of Narhelm, and the woman leading the effort to deal with the Gnoll threat. Haldis' camp is hastily constructed assortment of tents and temporary defenses. The whole place looks like her army is ready to pick up and move at a moment's notice. When you state your business, the guards quickly lead you to one of the larger tents. Inside, pale, freckled woman in studded leather hunches over a map on the northern part of the Isle of Alaron. This is Haldis Ulfsdottir, heir to the throne of Narhelm. One of the guards gestures at the woman. Hey, she says casually with a friendly nod. I heard you're here about the Gnoll problem. Yes, we are. We want to know more. And Haldis takes a much more interested tone once we mention the orders they overheard or stole from the Gnolls. If we show her the scroll that we found, she lights up with excitement because this is new info. And during the conversation, she reveals the following information. All right, this is what we want to know. If we haven't participated in Moon5-1, she tells us that the livestock has been disappearing for some time, and recently people started disappearing as well. And then farms were found burned down. Investigations revealed that the presence of Gnolls. The investigation revealed the presence of Gnolls, and obviously it's vital that the Gnolls are dealt with as soon as possible before more damage is dealt. I love that a 4-hour adventure can be summed up in like one bullet point. You know how hard that is? But you write like a 10,000 word adventure, and then someone else can easily summarize it in like one bullet point. That is talent. That's not easy to do. Haldis explains that her forces have been able to fend off the marauding Gnolls, but she's no closer to finding out who's leading these Gnoll mercenaries. If we mention the name on the scroll, which is Keolin, she remarks that it sounds like a giant's name. She could be one of the Fomorians from Vortom. Wow, that's a big assumption there, Miss or future heir to Narhelm. It might be a common Fomorian name. Haldis probably knows that. But she just says that it sounds like a giant's name, and then she just assumes that it could be a Fomorian, one of the Fomorians for Vortomil. Tormil. Is it Tormil? No, it's Tomil. All right. Since she seems to have Fey allies. Okay. Vortomel is one of the many parts of the Feywild that is intruding into the Moonshaes of late. Evil giants called Fomorians have taken over the island of Oman, but fortunately the seas have kept them trapped there. If Vortomel is behind the null attacks, then this could be the beginning of an even larger incursion. So if we have like Fomorians traveling through the sea and they have these like massive ships and starts invading the Isle of Alaron, that'll be epic. I hope that happens here. I mean, poor Alaron, poor hiking there, but if that happens, that will be fantastic. All right. If the party shows Haldis the scroll, we get paid 100 gold pieces up front for taking the initiative. Nice. Easy money. Okay. So we have 100 gold pieces right away. And she asks if they can check on the village of Ota and investigate the other 3 locations mentioned in the scroll. And we get paid an additional 100 pieces. I think we looted something from the Null pack leader as well. We have 100 pieces there. We get paid 100 pieces, gold piece additional, and then we'll get 100 more for each location the party investigates. So there are 4 locations, so 400 more. Easy money. Man, life of adventure is good, right? Just tier 2 things. And I would like keep my party to like I don't want like a 7-man party. I don't want like a 6-man. If we can keep it to like 3 to 4 adventurers, so that we get more like a bigger slice of the pie here, more coins. For the reward, that'll be better. Like, I'll take on the risk. I need. If I'm, let's see, if we're making a 3-man party, what's the best composition here? What's the best party comp that we can make to make sure that we can keep all this gold to ourselves and not share it with a bigger group? Because I'm greedy. I'm greedy that way. I don't want like 7 people sharing like 600 gold pieces worth of rewards. I want 3 people sharing like rogue. I don't think so. If we're fighting for null mercenaries. Okay, so we can surprise attack them. Sure. We get fireballed. We have evasion, so we're good. What else? If we get charm, then we have a problem. I don't think the gnolls will charm us. But there were evil druids, they said. But we don't know that. We don't know that. We know that there are giants, and we know that there's Fae involved. So we know that there's possible charm here because of the Fae. And we know that there will be giants. So if we fail to sneak on them and we get hit, then goodbye hit points. No counter spell like a dagger in the back. 3 rogues, no healing. I would like a healer, right? Or a paladin. Paladin for tank and heal. Right? And then paladins are also good with like big boss, like focus fight with like one enemy. So if we have like one giant, we can go with that. Just kill the enemies first. with what? That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the best 3-man party comp that you can have? I think if you have a barbarian will not die and also have high DPS. So I think that will work. So 1 barbarian also have high, will live longer because of rage. And then a paladin for having a high AC can heal and then can smite, so big damage as well. And then a druid for more healing? No, don't need. I need more damage. So I guess a rogue will work for sneak attack, right? But that's all kind of like We don't have an AoE attacker. It's like we click and attack like one enemy at a time type of party. So wizard, paladin, and rogue. Wizard for like AoE stuff, and then paladin for tank, and then rogue for like DPS damage. Yeah, I guess that will work. Sacrifice barbarian for a rogue. Paladin better not die. Yeah, I think that'll work. Yeah, if I want my 600 gold, I don't want like a 7-man party. So keep it that way. So if like you're playing an Adventures League, oh sorry, I know you want to play at this table, but we want to get more gold, so sorry. Lamont, that's literally my group's team comp in the game I'm in, plus Artificer. Because there were 4. Okay. Good, good. All right. Because again, you don't need like someone that will break the locks or pick the locks, stuff like that, do investigation and stuff. You just need to deal with these gnolls. So I think that's the best comp you can make, right? Or one of the best comps you can make. Anyway, going back. Role playing Haldis Ulfsdoktir. Swift Feet, I think we read this already from the previous adventure. She's good at archery, long distance running. Yep, we read this. It's the same quote. Moving forward. Now that the party has their quest, check on the village of Ota and investigate the 3 points of interest where the gnolls are gathering. The village of Ota is described in the interlude, while the other 3 locations are in part 2. They can approach these challenges in any order. Oh, all right. So we kind of like split the. We can choose going to the interlude, going to Ota, or go to the 3 other points. So, or we can go to part 2 first, then interlude. But since we're reading the adventure, we're gonna go here first. All right, so I'm wrong. I thought like the interlude is the call to action, but it's also part of part 1. Interlude is all about the village of Ota. All right, let's see how the author has fleshed out this village. Like what's in Ota? Do we have a map of Ota? That would be great if we have that, because that means I can use it in future adventures. All right. This section describes the village of Ota. Although it's safe for now, there are rumors abound, and a troublesome cult called the Guardians of the North. Wow. Guardians of the North are infamous here in Narhelm. So the village is small, scarcely over 100 occupants. There's a mead hall. The largest building in the village is the mead hall, a social meeting place that doubles as the seat of the village government. You know what? This is pretty cool. You know what? Like we have our government office that it also acts as a tavern, or I guess a place where we drink. Right? So that tells you like who's leading this village, like what type of people, right? And with that, I mean very fun people. Right? If I'm gonna live in a village, and I want to make sure that the leader of my village is someone fun, and I can drink with, and especially if there's only like 100 of us living there. So this is great. And then we have a shrine of the Earth Mother. So rather than any typical deity of the Ferunian pantheon, the people of Narhelm keep a shrine dedicated to the local goddess called the Earth Mother. Remember, right, when the Northlanders arrived here in the Moonshaes, and even up to now, I think this is why some of the Northlanders, like from different islands, sees the Northlanders here in Alaron as weak, because they have adapted. Like the folk culture. Uh, the Northlanders worship, majority of the Northlanders worship three deities. So you have Oril, because, just surviving the cold, and you kind of get used to that abuse, which is bad, right? But abuse from that deity, so you keep worshiping it, and you kind of grew up worshiping it, and then your parents worship it either, so now you have to do the same kind of upbringing. And then you have Tempus, which is the god of war, and then Umberly, which is again a malevolent deity of the sea. But here, so again, most of the Northlanders worship those three deities. Here, the Northlanders, it's a Northlander village, but there is a shrine for the Earth Mother, which is commonly worshipped by the folk, or like the first settlers, human settlers here in the Moonshae Isles. So that is interesting. Unwelcome guests. As the party attempts to enter the village, they're approached by several rough-looking men, recruiters from the growing cult called the Guardians of the North. As you approach the village of Ota, a handful of rough-looking men approach you. "Stop there, Outlander," one says, folding his arms. He's wearing fur armor and with an amulet of Tempest around his neck. "I'm Oscar. We're from the Guardians of the North, and this village is under our protection." Okay. Oscar, member of the Guardians of the North. And the Guardians focus their attention on the physically and visibly strongest characters in the party and show little respect for the others. Characters that aren't from the Moonshaes have disadvantage on any charisma checks they make involving Oscar and his friends. And he in the party talk, he can reveal the following information. The Guardians are relatively a new group, but membership has grown rapidly since the Null attack started. The people of Narham have lost touch with their roots as proud warriors, and it's Guardians' duty to remind them. Wow. The people of Narham have lost touch with their roots as proud warriors. Become soft. Peace have made you soft. So we have to remind you that you are warriors. You're supposed to fight violence, instill violence. And okay, and then people have joined them because of that. There are people who believe what they're saying too. The Guardians worship Tempest, god of battle, arguing that the Northlanders should embrace their history as feared warriors and raiders. You're a raider, my friend. And embrace your roots. Okay. This is not good. Okay. Role-playing Oscar and the Guardians of the North. Oscar and the other Guardians present in this adventure are recent additions to the cult, and they're here to recruit other strong young adults. Oh, they have a target demographic as well. This is what they want to recruit. All right, they believe that the Knolls are the only threat because the Northerners have gotten. Oh my god. Yeah, that's basically how they talk. They have gotten soft. They're less enthusiastic about the cult's other beliefs, that these Northerners should also return to their roots as Reavers, but they don't think it will be the worst thing. Okay. So like these guys joined, they're new, and what they care about is that the Knolls need to be taken care of because the Northerners have become soft and they may not be able to defend themselves. But this group that I joined in may have some other goals, might be nefarious, might be evil, but I don't really care. It's not the worst. Right. Okay. Oh, this is good. What's the quote? Our great grandfathers would have never let these gnolls cause as much damage as they have. They would be ashamed of how soft we have become. Wow. Wow. Okay. Exploring the village. The village of Ota provides a safe place for the party to rest in between other expeditions. Despite the warning, the Guardians of the North won't do anything to the party other than give them dirty looks. If we ask around town, we can get some information as well. Got 4 bullet points here. Let's read them. The Guardians have been recruiting all over Narhelm. Their headquarters is apparently on a small island somewhere. Oh, they're on a separate island. But no one knows exactly where. Cultists, led by creepy looking druid, passed through the village a few days ago. They were headed for the Hardanghite Mountains. As far as anyone knows, the druid and cultists were not affiliated with the Guardians. And this is Ashbjorn from Part 2, Scene A. Okay, we have Ashbjorn here as well. An evil druid? Question mark. A merchant from was supposed to arrive this morning by Nimer's Pass. We'll just call it Nimer. Nimer's Pass. Nimer sounds better. It's probably Nimer. Nimer, yeah, it's probably Nimer's Pass. But she's nowhere to be seen. Druids who revered the Earth Mother used to have hideouts all over the Moonshae Islands. Legend has it that one of the hideouts was at the source of the Ironflow River and that it was hidden by magic. Actually, let's look at the river. Like, where is it coming from? Put the emphasis on the back end and it sounds different. Nimer's Pass. So Nimer's Pass or Nimer. No, yeah, Nimer's. Nimer's. Yeah, the emphasis should be at it. Nimer's Pass. Okay, that one. Yeah, I keep saying Nimer. 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 Okay. That adds. There's a bit of an effort there. So. Alright, we'll practice that. Nimer's. Nimer's Pass. Nimer's Pass. Okay. Ironflow River. So, from Warlsbury, which is, I love this place. You have Hulock. And then the Ironflow. Oops. This is the source right there. That's where we're going. Okay. What else? Druids. Oh, we read that already. Role-playing the villagers. The villagers of Oda are stoic, hardy, and passive. Most are farmers and shepherds. The Gnoll attacks are worrying, but the villagers are confident in Halde's leadership. They talk about the Gnolls with the same level of concern as very bad thunderstorm. Things might be dangerous for a few days, but it'll pass and everything will go back to normal. Wow, too real. Like this problem that we have after a few weeks, no problem. Hey, Wizards of the Coast tried burning things down with the OGL. Just wait a couple of weeks and it'll be over. And then we wait for another WotC fiasco, right? It feels like that. So does that mean we're like that? Like, people who, players who support this game are like the villagers of Ota? Okay. The Knolls, well, I think Lady Haldis has done an excellent job keeping them away from our little village. And we can rest. Okay. So I think we can long rest here. Okay. And then part two. So there's really no problem in Ota. No attack or anything. It's just information gathering. That's it. Part two. Let's see what happens in part two. Let me just get some Skittles. Um, Part 2, searching high and low. 90 minutes. Alright, this might be long. This section describes the 3 points of interest that Haldis asked the party to investigate. And the players can play these encounters in any order. Taking a short rest is no problem. But taking a long rest definitely alerts Keolin that adventurers are hunting for her location. She's no fool and likely to flee, especially if the characters easily handled her Knolls. Use your judgment. Wait, let me drink this. Use your judgment, erring on the side of the player's fun. Okay. But resting 8 hours after having dealt with the first opponent is usually not a good idea. Okay. No mountain high enough. Okay. No mountain high enough. The party foils a cult's diabolical. Wait, my camera. All right. Diabolical activities at Harding Height Peak. No valley low enough. The party breaks a null blockade in Nero's Pass. No river wide enough. I love it. Okay. The party discovers a hidden hideout at the source of Ironflow River. I was about to sing that too. All right. No mountain high enough. No valley low enough. No river wide. I'm trying to imagine the author. I'm trying to imagine Ben as he's writing this. He's probably looking at the map. Okay. I need 3 points of location here. Oh, there's a mountain. And then there's a valley. Oh, and then there's a river here. And then either that song is like playing on like the radio or Spotify or something. And then just came up with this. This is great. Literally just listening to his favorite playlist and just dropping fresh beats. Exactly. But I love the names of the titles that he uses here. No mountain high enough. Following the rumors of the cultists and an evil druid, the party travels to Harding Height Peak. So, terrain. The rocky, uneven peak is rife with difficult terrain. Rock slick because of the rain. And then what else do we have here? The pouring rain makes the area lightly obscured. And the dark skies plunge to the area in dim light. And there's the smell of rain. You know, I love it when it's raining in a setting, because that doesn't happen a lot, or at least in my experience. It's always, either nighttime or the sun is out, it's cloudy, whatever, but it's not raining. It's like a different feeling when it's raining. Snow is different because Yeah, in Icewind Dale, it's like it's always snowing. But you know, if it's rain, probably because I live in the Philippines. But if it rains, like all your plans gets canceled. Like things change. The like how like the temperature outside, and you know, getting wet makes it troublesome. And that inconvenience, you have to incorporate that in your encounters and in the adventure if you choose to make the weather like a rainy to make it rain during this part of the adventure. So that's why I appreciate it if it's raining or snowing or something, you know, similar, because that means you have to put extra stuff here due to the weather. Yeah. Anyway, going back. It takes about 4 hours to make the climb up the Height mountain, and as if the task wasn't daunting enough, one of the signature rains of the Moonshae Isles has turned into a pouring thunderstorm. As you trudge up the winding mountain path, stinging rain falls in torrents. Thunder rumbles in the sky, and dissonant, unnerving chanting is carried by the howling wind. Have you ever had that? Have you experienced that kind of rain? Where like it feels like you're in the shower and like the pressure is like too high that it actually hurts a bit when like rain hits your skin. Um, Not hail, but you know, just rain, but it's as if like the pressure is like up like to the highest level. I love that kind of rain, just without the ominous chanting though. Yeah, it's fun because when we were kids, we play at whenever it's raining, whenever there's like a storm or like a typhoon. Here it's typhoon. Uh, so whenever there's typhoon, and obviously our parents will tell us don't go outside because it's freaking dangerous, and it is. Don't go outside. It is dangerous when there's a typhoon. But because I'm a stupid kid and my friends are also stupid like me, we go out and we play in the during the typhoon, and the rain is, yeah, you could feel like the wind is strong, and when the rain hits the water hits your skin, like, yeah, it hurts. And then there's flood, right? It, as I mentioned, I think the other day, here in the Philippines, there's like a saying, you know, just add water and then everything changes, like instant noodles. Here, when there's typhoon, like a lot of the places here gets flooded, and then as dumb as we are, we swim. We there are a lot of times where we try to swim uh in those flooded areas. So imagine like sewer water merging with like rainwater, and then get like all mixed up in this flood. It's a good thing that I'm still alive. That's what I'm trying to say. So, but that's what happens. And then because the houses that were built here, especially during my time, oh man, it feels like I'm old. But when I was young, like 8, 7, something like that, uh, most of the roofs here are made of, what's the English word for hierro? Like that metal roofing. I forgot what it's called. Uh, that kind of looks like wavy, thin metal roofing. Do you have? But that is that corrugated steel? Let me Google it. Corrugated Corrugated roof. Yes, that's the one. All right. Good job. I didn't even know that's the English word for that. Yeah, the metal sheets. Exactly. So that metal sheet roofing. Uh, that's what we have. Like in a lot of houses, that's what we have. Uh, and then so when there's a typhoon, that will just kind of peel off like in someone's roof, and then fly in a random direction. So if uh it's scary, man. It's scary. It's fun and scary at the same time. So if you're like a 7-year-old, 8-year-old kid, uh, out in a typhoon, just playing during the rain and stuff, under the rain, and then you have this like metal sheet roofing flying out of nowhere. If that hits you, you're dead. You're gonna get like sliced in half, but not really. But you're gonna be injured if not dead. But we're stupid, so we do that. So don't do it, kids. If there anyone like, don't. If there's a typhoon, don't go out and play. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. We're lucky that we survived during our time. Uh, it was fun. It was fun because we survived. If we didn't survive, then obviously it's not fun. Okay. Anyway, going back. So I feel like I can incorporate some of that experience into the Moonshae Isles. Obviously, there's no corrugated steel and stuff, right? But I'm sure there'd be like flying plywood. No, not plywood. Probably like some, I don't know, something light that will fly around, like debris or something, like collapsing wall during a storm, and then boom, hits you. All right, you want to play in the rain? This is what happens. So yeah, if you're here, you see an adventure written by me, and it's raining, and I ask you to play in the rain, it's a trap. Going back, where are we? Thunderstorm. All right, we read that. At the mountain's peak, there are 4 cultists and the evil druid who uses a modified stats of a mage. Got it. The druid named Ashbjorn is an evil ally of Scory. Demons convince Ashbjorn of the savagery of nature, violent chaos in the natural order of things. He now believes civilization is a blight that must be wiped away, and summoning more demons is the ideal way of doing it. Of course. That makes sense. Ashbjorn showed Keolin to Iron Source Cave, but is of no further use to her, and therefore has been kept in the dark about the Gardens of the North and Keolin's plan. Okay. Adjusting the encounter, so we have that. We're gonna skip that because that's all about combat. Lightning strikes. Nature itself is in an uproar at the demonic ritual taking place at the mountain peak. On initiative 20, something happens. A bolt of lightning strikes as per cold lightning spell, and then you take damage. You can use the lightning strikes to control the tempo. So this is again like combat related stuff. And then you have the tactics. So we're gonna skip that. And then a change of heart. Okay. During combat, one of Ashbjorn's cultists has a change of heart. Oh, there's drama. At your discretion, you may decide to have this turncoat surrender to the party during the battle, or the party might find him cowering after the fight, especially if the party vaporizes the relatively feeble cultist with a single fireball. The second option might be more believable. The cultist's name is Reginald. All right, we have an evil cultist that works for Ashbjorn, had a change of heart. Okay, Reginald, what's your story? Reginald promises to tell the party everything he knows if they let him live. He offers them the following information about the other locations. Their cult is allied with the Gnolls. The evil druid Ashbjorn told Randolph, who's Randolph, and his fellow cultists that Inogu was coming, and their only chance of survival was to learn to embrace the violence and chaos that would be coming to the Moonshae soon. Both evil druid and the cultists reported to someone named Keolin, which is a Fomorian. Okay, this kind of confirms the information from Haldis, because Haldis kind of suspects that Keolin is a Fomorian, right? But we don't know. Here we get confirmation. Reginald has never met her though. Randolph must be the original name because, okay, yeah, must be a typo. There's a hideout at the source of the Ironflow River, but you need both halves of a seal to bypass its magical defenses. Ashbjorn has one half, and Zuba, Keolin's Fomorian lieutenant, has the other. All right, I love this. Reginald and then Zuba. Keolin's another Fomorian. Okay, what else do we have? There's a hideout at the source of the Ironflow River. Oh, we already read that. Treasure. What do we get? Ashbjorn carries half of an ancient-looking stone seal, roughly the size of a dinner plate. Additionally, he carries a spell scroll of Summon Lesser Demons. This is a rare scroll. So if you get this scroll, that's good. If you're I think wizards can use it, right? If you're a wizard, you copy this and then you can share it to other wizards. That's great. And 300 gold pieces in various ritual components. Our 3-man party is gonna be happy with this. We get another 300 gold pieces reward or loot. See, that's why I don't like big parties. Like lean and efficient adventuring party. You can get more loot. Okay. No valley low enough. So we've dealt with the evil druid. Now we're gonna go to Nimru's Pass. Your inner tabaxi is showing. Yeah, sorry. But man. The party makes its way to Nimru's Pass, a route through the Hardanghite Mountains. So it's an empty road, some debris providing half cover, and some pits of mud present in difficult terrain. There's a cliff here on either side of the pass to create a deadly ambush location. It's overcast, not raining anymore. A bit of sunlight, and then we smell wet dog. Huh? The party detects a smell like wet dog, and the signature because the gnolls are here. What's the smell of a wet dog? Trying to remember when I give our dogs a bath, and they smell like shampoo. I guess it smells like, you know, when they're exposed to the sun for a long time and then you start showering them. I guess that's it. Now, the smell of a wet, dirty dog is different. I guess, yeah. If it's like been 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you haven't given your dog a bath and they've been outside most of the time. Man, yeah. Nimru's Pass is about 2 hours northeast from the village of Ota. The pass is barely wide enough for a wagon to pass through, but the gnolls have blocked it with a rock slide. Atop a makeshift barricade, you see the spotted cackling creatures taking orders from a twisted, wretched-looking giant with a glowing golden eye. The barricade is made from large boulders and parts of a wagon. You see 3 humans trapped in cages, precariously placed beneath the rocks. Oh, they got prisoners. This is Zuba. Yes, it is Zuba. The Fomorian is Zuba. He's Keolin's lieutenant, and here with the Null Pack Lord, Null Hunters, and we have a map. We'll look at the map in a bit. Excuse me. Actually, let's look at the map now. Appendix 1B. Oh, this is nice. Rock slide, stairs, and then there are cages there. Oh, nice. There are cages under the rock slide. Oh, they kind of transformed it. Okay. Because there are stairs here. Oh. Okay. And this is where the party approaches. So obviously there's no stairs on the front facing the characters or the party. And then there's one on the other side. Okay, noted. So we fight and then tactics. I kind of skip that. The prisoners. There are 3 human prisoners trapped in cages built into the barricade. The cages are an especially sadistic idea. Okay? They open from the top, which is why the gnolls buried them under the rubble. Wow. The gnolls aren't not interested in taking prisoners or eating captives. They want to trap these humans and watch them succumb to starvation and thirst. Wow. Okay. That's a bit dark, but yeah. Okay. They show you that these are follower of Yinogu. Successfully freeing a prisoner requires 10 minutes. Alternatively, the party can take creative solutions such as casting levitate or telekinesis on the rocks above the cage, or polymorphing the prisoners into something small enough to crawl through the bars. How strong is this prison cell? Because if you have a barbarian, you can just bend the bars, right? The 3 prisoners are all merchants from one of them, named Pashar. Let's have it here. A merchant, an Omnian merchant, captured by the gnolls. Pashar, where's that? Is a low-ranking contact for the Moonshae Trade League. Oh, okay. Member of the Moonshae. She graciously thanked the party for rescuing her and fellow merchants and promises to put a good word in with her superiors. Pashar and the other merchants have overheard some information the party can use, which they happily reveal as soon as they are freed. Okay. Then we learn the identity of the leader of the Moonshae Trade League. It's a gnome, right? That has the same name as a gnome deity. Because the gnome is the one that's kind of sending us to Captain Poppy and then making us go to different places, right? Glitter Gold, yeah. I don't think I have the information here. I don't think I transferred it here. Oh, it's Moon1-5. So it's still in Notepad, not here. Deity was Garl, yeah, but it's Glitter Gold. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so if we save Pasha and the other Pashar and the other merchants here, then they'll tell us, they'll put in a good word to Glitter Gold. And then if we already uh, like interacted with Glitter Gold before, then we'll get more famous, I guess, right? Uh, what else? Uh, Bashar and the other merchants have overheard some information that they can use. I love, actually, so far, I love this adventure, how it was written, and how Ben uses these encounters, how he flavors the encounters, or basically how he flavors the information that the players or the characters should get into like encounters, right? So this is great because like the first one, you have look at this because it's unique. So you have like in a combat encounter, one of the enemies has a change of heart. So there's some sort of drama happening during this combat encounter, but because of that drama, like the purpose of that drama or shift in this encounter is because uh the author wants us to get these information, or the author wants the players to get these information. And then same thing here, right? Like the gnolls are not interested in having prisoners. They don't want to eat them. They just want to see them suffer, right? Which is again dark, evil, and kind of reinforces that these gnoll mercenaries are worshippers of a demon lord, right? So it's a good flavor uh, and to have here. But again, the main purpose of that is not to highlight that the gnoll mercenaries are evil, but to provide the players these information. So this is a good writing technique, right? Like Ben is like hitting two stones, no, two birds with one stone. He creates um, a twist in an encounter that makes the encounter more interesting or highlights something in that encounter, and at the same time providing information for the characters or the players, right? So that's a good technique here, writing technique, that I think I will be stealing if you don't mind, because this is good. You save word count, you it's lean, and it makes sense, and it's beautifully done. It's perfectly executed. Like it has a purpose. So it's beautiful. I love it. Good job. Anyway, enough about that. Going back here. So what can Pashar tell us? A few days ago, a druid from the mountain came down demanding to know what the new password to Keolin's lair was. What's the Wi-Fi password? Somebody change password. And then after some arguing, the Fomorian eventually said it was Koname. Password is Koname. The Fomorian and the druid were arguing about Keolin's strategy. The druid thought she was holding back and insisted that Kaelin let him summon more demons. The Fomorian disagreed, saying Kaelin likes risk, but isn't that crazy. Okay. And if we beat the Fomorian has the other seal, like other half of the seal. It is the mate to the piece found on Ashbjorn. Okay. That's it. And then last one. No river wide enough. The party searches the length of the Ironflow River, looking for the entrance to a rumored druid hideout that Kaolin is using as a base of operation. The Ironflow River rushes south, but you're traveling to its source in the slopes of the Hardang. The slopes of the Hardang Height Mountains. You come to a valley where runoff forms the surging headwaters of the Iron Flow. Rumors talk of an ancient druid hideout here. You just have to find it. Okay. If we search the area, a patch of the valley wall has been covered by a hallucinatory terrain spell. Oh, that's a high level spell. Behind the illusion is the entrance to Iron Source Cave. To find the entrance, the group must attempt to make a, oh, that's a bit high, investigation check. On a success, they find an entrance relatively quickly. On a failure, they spend a bit of time loitering around. And Kaolin notices that and sends guard to confront them. Okay. And there are some ways the party can make their search easier. Okay, that's why it was high initially. So there are things you can do to lower that. You can detect magic to find the illusion. You can do divination as well. Like Arcane Eye, locate creature, count the information gleaned from each spell as one additional success towards a group check. And then Druids. The entrance of the cave is marked in Druidic. Any Druids in the party have advantage on their investigation check. At your discretion, things like Dwarves, Stone Cunning, Rager's favorite terrain, you can also use that to kind of help in finding the entrance. And then you have the sealed door. Once the entrance of the cave has been found, the party can simply walk through the illusion and covering the entrance. However, they may choose to dispel it instead if they want to return to the cave later. Behind the illusion is a recess in the valley with a stone door at the back, which cannot be opened until the party has both halves of the stone seal. So if you got here first without the seal, you have to go back later. Okay. And then after that, we go to part 3. All right. That's it. And then here it looks like where we're going to be exploring. Because there are Area 1, Area 2. Okay. So it's an exploration. The party explored the Iron Source Cave, the druid hideout that has become the lair of the Fomorian leader Kaolin. We have a map in Appendix 1C. So let's look at that map. 1C. So there's 1, and then the door with the seal, I'm assuming. 2, Area 2, stairs down. Area 3, Area 4. And then Area 5. Alright, so 5, okay. 5 locations. Each square is 10 feet. Got it. Oops. Oops, here we go. Secret door. So the terrain, rough, natural stone, overcast, threatening to rain. It's still daytime, so there's bright light. The area has pleasant after rain smell and the sound of rushing water. There's a pleasant after rain smell. I hate the smell, like when the rain hits the ground, especially the road. It smells really bad, but I guess it's just here in the Philippines, right? It's probably different somewhere else. I guess if it's like in the woods or something, then it will smell better. But yeah, like if there's a word for that, petrichor. Yeah, but you know that's, I guess if you're in the Philippines, you know that smell, right? Like when it's sunny, it's hot, and then all of a sudden it rains. Oh, that smell is bad. Yeah. Depending on what's wet, I'm sure wet garbage ain't so great, but fresh flowers pretty sweet. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If it's like in the woods, like in the forest, you know, or in a garden, then that probably will smell great after. That's probably what they're talking about. So, It's a pleasant after rain smell. Anyway, behind an illusionary section of the cliff, you find a C-shaped recess with a large door carved into the far side. The door has an ornate circular recess about the size of a dinner plate, but no other visible ways of opening it. The first time the party finds this area, it's unguarded. If it's the party's second trip here, then, or if they failed the group check, then the door is guarded. A Fomorian is hiding just behind the illusion and attacks as soon as the party passes through. Hey, hello. Yeah, Christ is here, so good. Yeah, you didn't miss it. Thank you for joining. Good thing you're still awake. It's 1 a.m. Yeah, we're just talking about rain. What is a pleasant after rain smell? So, there. No work tomorrow. Yes, if you're in the Philippines, our president all of a sudden declared, a day before that there's no holiday. There's no work. It's a holiday. So suddenly holiday tomorrow. So all of my deadlines are to. Oh wow, yeah, that sucks. You know what? Yeah, that really sucks because yeah, I saw people. There's like one of my friends on Facebook kind of posted that this is the only holiday that kind of he's mad about or irritated with because you declare that it's a holiday like after work, like in the afternoon, like close to nighttime, and then you declare that tomorrow no work. That's it. So all the plans you have for tomorrow and everything, there's gonna be a change of plans. So a lot of people are mad about it. A lot of people are okay with it. I'm sure students are happy with it because no school, right? Anyway, going back, HR. I bet people that work at HR, oh, they're probably having some big problems right now because like, oh, holiday tomorrow, but it's already end of shift, and then we can't go to work tomorrow because it's a holiday. So how are we gonna do this? So they have to do overtime and all that stuff. It's gonna be a nightmare for them. Feel for you. Other countries usually pass a law and then like a year later it happens. Yeah. Here, yeah, it's kind of like we need to get confirmation from the president or something that a holiday will actually happen. Like it's already declared. Like we know it's gonna be a holiday, but we just need confirmation. And sometimes, if it's like the day is like close to the weekend or attached to the weekend, like a Friday tomorrow or Monday, then the president will do like a special announcement that it's gonna be a holiday because the special event or the actual holiday is happening on a weekend. So to give you a long weekend, we're also making Friday or Monday a special holiday or something like that. Yeah, I don't know why I'm explaining it, but yeah. Because I told people on Facebook you can watch the stream because no work tomorrow, so they can stay up late. Anyway, where were we? So we fight a Fomorian. If we failed, we got here the second time, or we failed our group check, and then opening the door. The door to the cave is huge. One of the reasons Kyolin chooses it as a lair because she is a giant and has no visible means of opening it. It can't be picked with thieves' tools or broken down with brute strength. Even a spell like Stone Shape is cast on the door. Ancient druidic wards flare to life, negating the spell. The only way to open the door is with both halves of the seal, which fits perfectly into a recess in the door. One half of the seal belongs to Ashbjorn, and the other one belongs to Zuba. And what else? If the party has both halves of the seal, they snugly fit into the recess with a click, and then the huge door crumbles away into sand. Oh, it magically opened. I was gonna say, like, it destroys the door, and then that's like a one-time thing. Apparently not. Yeah, 1 minute later, the door magically reforms. Good thing I did not assume right away. Okay. The other side, there's a spacious chamber on the other side of the door, and it can be opened from the inside by placing a hand in Druidic rune. There's also a pedestal in the center of the chamber where two halves of a new seal appear, and people can just take it. Okay. Area 2, trap antechamber. So there is a circular chamber at the bottom of the staircase with a deadly trap. What do we have here? Kaolin has programmed a glyph of warding to cast Spirit Guardians when it is triggered. Detecting the glyph requires an investigation check. If it's triggered, Spirit Guardians appear and then deals 3d8 necrotic damage. More importantly, it creates a noise that warns Kaolin, giving her up to 10 minutes to prepare. How do you bypass this? You can eliminate the magic with the spell magic if you investigate early. And then a character can attempt to make acrobatics check to carefully tiptoe around the glyph's edges. Nice. Small characters have advantage on this check. The easiest way to bypass the glyph is to speak the password, which you should know is Konome. That's the Wi-Fi password. And then waiting it out. The events of the future encounters depend on whether or not the party bypasses the glyph and perseveres through the damage or wait it out. If the party chooses, they can take 10 minutes and wait for the spell to end, but this gives the prey plenty of time to prepare. All right, so you activate it and then wait for the spell to just kind of end. Okay. There are two tunnels, one that leads to Area 3 and then another one to Area 4. So we're going to go to Area 3, the Druid's Quarters. This chamber is where the Druids who originally inhabited this hideout would stay, but they're not here anymore, so it has been occupied by Kaolin's smaller servants. What are those servants? This cramped passageway is hardly large enough for a human, but it leads to an austere. Is that how you pronounce it? Feel like I've searched this before. Yeah, it is austere. All right. Austere, where was I? Austere barracks with bunks carved directly into the rock of the cave. A magical fire illuminates the room. And this room is occupied by two, not one, but two warlocks of the Archfey, friends of Ashbjorn and psychopaths to Kaolin and her queen Konome. And then you also have 5 members of the Guardians of the North, which uses the Berserker stats, and whom the Warlocks have charmed. So here we get a we start to see, we get another information about Queen Konome. I'm assuming, like, the assumption here is that these warlocks made a pact with Queen Konome. So Queen Konome is an Archfey. Sycophants. Oh, I saw it as psychopath. That's why. Okay. What is a sycophant? Apparently, I googled it before. A person who acts, gives me another big word, obsequiously towards someone important in order to gain advantage. Okay. Someone who praises powerful or rich people in a way that is not sincere. Oh, just kind of like sucking up to someone. Is that what it is? Obsessed follower. Okay. Spout a leader's rhetoric with a similar passion. Okay, yeah, it's someone who sucks up to their boss, basically. But what was I trying to say here? The information that we get here, that the Archfey here is Queen Koname. And if Queen Koname has the power to turn, people into a warlock, then she's a powerful Fey creature, right? So this is not like an ordinary villain that you'll have. This is a powerful Fey creature, because this is occupied by 2 warlocks of the Archfey, and they are followers of they're friends of Ashbjorn, who basically follows Keolin, and Keolin who follows Queen Koname. Yeah. I don't foresee us meeting, killing Queen Koname in these modules. Don't give me that. Don't lose hope. I see the build up here, so I'm hoping we get more Queen Koname stuff here. Because if we don't get to meet Queen Koname, then I'll make sure it will happen, right? We'll go back here. We'll go to Oman, okay? We'll go to Oman and find Queen Koname, knock on her door, and say, you know what? Remember what you did in the Rising Shadows? It's payback time. That will happen. So, but I hope that we get to meet Queen Koname, or at least have like I said, confrontation with her. But we see here that she's a powerful like a strong entity, right? If these are her warlocks, so. What else? If the party bypassed the glyph of warning, then the enemies hear a surprise. Yada yada. There's a combat encounter. We fight, and then the warlocks have been alternating casting. Oh, see, you have charm person here. I'm right. Right. So we need someone in my 3-man party that can, save me, or at least make sure that we all don't succumb to this charm person spell. It's payback time. Oh, what are you talking about? To get stabbed with like 3 rogues, right? With the 3 rogue party. On their captives, and thus only have 2 of their spell slots remaining. If the warlocks are defeated, their spell on the remaining berserker breaks, and the guards of the north are confused, no idea where they are. Oh, so they use it on the guardians and how they got there. And the last thing they remember is that their leader, Scory, telling them a friend needed help with something. Okay, that's it. We have a portal room. Okay. All right, so if you bypass that, then skip to confronting Keolin. Okay. The air in this room is positively humming with magical power. It's unnaturally cold in the room, and the shadows seem thicker than normal. A massive circle is in the center of this room. Intricate arcane lines drawn within are glowing as 100 female Fomorian What? Oh, hunch. What? Where did I read 100? Wow. Okay. I need new glasses. I was about to say like 100 female Fomorians. Arcane lines drawn within are glowing as a hunch female Fomorian chants over them. Okay. The lines spring to life and erupting in an explosion of colorful magic and forming a swirling maelstrom. I like the description. An open rift to the Feywild. It looks like I underestimated your persistence, the Fomorian admits. Another minute or two, and I might have actually gotten away. Oh, that is like a Scooby-Doo line. That is like, yeah, that is very Scooby-Doo. All right, another minute or two, and I might have actually gotten away. If it wasn't for you meddling kids, would have gotten away. Shaking her head, Keolin turns to face you. All right. If they waited for the Spirit Guardian to end, this is what happens instead. So if we gave Keolin more time, this is what happens. The air in this room. All right, okay. A massive circle is inscribed on the floor at the center of the room, and arcane lines are drawn within it. Glow and sizzle as they've been recently charged with energy. Seems like your target, Keolin, managed to get away. Oh, it's done. But it's not too late to follow her if you can get to this portal and open again. All right. Excuse me. It's clear to see that the portal requires 4 items placed in a diamond around the portal. The regions and the clues needed to place them are in Area 5. Anybody trained in Arcana realizes that the circle is a portal to the Feywild, but it is infused with shadow magic. If the 4 regions are placed in the right location as described in Area 5, then they can reopen the rift to the Feywild. Fortunately, Keolin is still on the other side, confident that the party will not be able to follow through. Sending them now, she realizes her mistake, and you may read the following. As you place the last region and read the incantation, a swirling maelstrom of color rips through the room. Keolin reappears, confused at first, and then dejected. Ah, it seems you found out how to reopen the portal. Well, I surrender. Let me go and I'll tell you everything you need to know about the real threat festering under your nose. This is a surprise as well, which is good. What the villain surrenders. If the party is intent on bringing the Fomorian to justice, she defends herself, but otherwise they can avoid combat. Wow, this is rare. I like it. Keolin's chambers. So this is where we get like the clues on how to open the portal. The giant-sized room has been repurposed as Keolin's personal chambers. If the party needs to reopen her portal to the Feywild, then the ingredients they need are here. And these modest chambers have a lower ceiling, almost like it wasn't intended for a giant. Still, a huge cot is resting along the floor, along with several long scrolls of parchment written in an elegant but enormous hand. So what are these regions that we have to find? Keolin has kept a large supply of regions for opening the portal in Area 4, as she tends to use it for regular trips. The regions stored here are sprite wings, rainbow-colored flowers from the Feywild, a hag's eye, oh, that's a lot of hag then, and a twig from a dryad's tree. Conveniently, Keolin has labeled each one, but inconveniently, she has done so in Giant. So if you don't understand Giant, don't have comprehend languages, there's going to be a bit of a problem. Kaolin's notes. If anyone in the party can read Giant, they can easily decode Kaolin's notes and learn all 3 clues. Otherwise, they must make a DC 20 intelligence check and reveals 1 clue for each success. That's again a high DC. Each character may only attempt 1 intelligence check. Wow, that is strict. And that's not a lot. If I have a 3-man party, I only have 3 chances. And these are the clues. The hag's eye must go across from the dryad's twig. The triad's twig must go in the eastern spot. The sprite wings cannot go into the northern spot. Okay. With all 3 clues, the party should be able to determine the proper placements to open the portal. All right. So rainbow flower, dryad's twig, sprite wings, and then hag's eye from north to west. The triad's twig must go into the... All right. This is just telling us how to put it there. Treasure. Kaolin's chamber also include art and other treasures worth 1,200 gold pieces. That, again, that is a lot. 1,200 gold pieces. How much money do we have now? And then there's also a large spell scroll of hallucinatory terrain. Nice. Confronting Kaolin. So we're fighting her. Oh, this is if we fight her. So if we fight her, she'll be using a stone giant Dreamwalker. She only fights until she's reduced to 60 hit points and then she surrenders. And the unstable portal. In her haste to escape the party, Kaolin tore open an unstable rift to a darker part of the Feywild. The 2 planes have been brought into convergence. Kaolin and the party are straddling a blurry line between the planes. Chaotic magic is flooding the room, resulting in the following effects. So we have Wild Magic Surge. Whenever a party casts a first level spell or higher, Surge happens. Fey Magic Blast. Ripples of unseelie magic emanate. So this confirms it. The Fey of, or at least the court of Vortomil is part of like they are unseelie Fey. And the ripples of unseelie magic emanate from the unstable portal. On initiative 20, something happens. The chaotic magic in the portal causes 2 creatures to teleport, exchanging places. That's fun. Or you take cold damage. What else? And wisdom saving throw becomes charmed. Oh, see? Again. Better prepare for charm. You have that. And then combat. And then if Kaolin surrenders, we listen to Kaolin and she reveals the following information. 4 bullet points. She was approached by Scory Borson, the founder of the Guardians of the North. Oh no, here we go. It's being revealed. He had a plan to spread carnage across Alaron and needed a talented leader to command his Gnoll warriors. Kaolin agreed, but only so she could use the Gnolls to her own advantage. If she could defeat Narham's defenders with Scory's Gnolls, then no one would be left to fight back when Kaolin's Fey and Fomorian allies invaded. Kaolin is willing to cut her losses, accept defeat, and leave if the party... It looks like she's a pretty smart leader. Scory will be more reluctant to give up. As one final bargaining chip, Kaolin offers to tell the party where Scory is at in exchange for her life. If asked about shadow magic, then that is infusing the portal. She tells that it is part of the magic taught to her by the shadowy human wizards. Okay. That's interesting. It makes the magic stronger than normal Fey magic, but she does not know the source of the dark magic, nor does she care. If the party had to reopen the portal but decides to fight Keolin anyway, then we go encounter. All right. Yeah, Keolin is a good character. It's a surprise because you know what? She's a Fomorian. She's deformed. We have that typical trope with this giant, especially with the Fomorians, that you see it, it attacks, and kind of like a hill giant, like uh, less thinking, more attacking kind of trope. But here, no, she's the shield maiden of Queen Koname, and she's willing to cut her losses, and she surrenders, give information, but some interesting lore here that I want to go back before I continue. Where is that? It is part of magic taught to her by shadowy human wizards. She learned shadow magic from shadowy human wizards, which are not specified here, which is, for me as a storyline coordinator, is good because I can link something here or create a new group of quote-unquote shadowy human wizards, right? So this is a hook that I can take and expand the lore with. So I'm gonna put that here. Keolin learned shadow magic from a group of shadowy human wizards. This group was not specified. Okay. And can be used to expand the lore. Can be used to expand the lore. All right. Have it there. So we have that role playing Keolin ni Brianin. Keolin is a shield maiden of Queen Koname. When you say a shield maiden, is she like a royal guard? Is that what it means? What is the task? What is the job of a shield maiden? In Old Norse, is a female warrior. Okay. Scandinavian folklore. Shield maidens are often mentioned in sagas. Okay. So it's basically a female warrior, right? That is it. A Viking woman. Okay. Usually a shield maiden carries their warriors' gears and heals along with being able to defend themselves. Yeah, but it looks like she's one of Queen Koname's warriors. Okay. And a Fomorian of great spell casting skill that can cast shadow magic, or so she likes to believe. Yeah. Okay. In reality, she is simply one Fomorian amongst many. Oh, wow. Okay. Akin to a squire. They didn't fight in the battle, but they should know how to fight. Oh, really? Okay. But here it says again, it kind of expands on the lore of how strong Queen Koname is. Like you have Keolin, who is an interesting character who knows shadow magic, who's also a warrior, but here it says, okay, she's strong, and she thinks that she's strong. She probably has the right to believe that she's strong, but in reality, she's just one Fomorian against many in the court of Vortomil under Queen Konome's command. Ambitious and desperate to advance in the court of Vortomil, she's willing to take big risks, including making deals with human demon cultists and trying to form a beachhead far away from the safety of Vortomil. What's her quote? Well, that sounds like a terribly risky plan, but sure, let's give it a try. Alright. These are my favorite kinds of characters. You're kind of rooting for them despite being the villain of this module. Yeah, she's a different kind of villain. This is someone that you know, it's not like you fight her, you kill her, and then that's it, right? These are like the recurring villains that, okay, I surrender now. I lost the battle, but not the war kind of type of villain. And she's ambitious too. You know that. She know you want her. She wants to get into a higher position, but she also knows, like, she's smart enough when to quit. You know, she likes to gamble, but she knows when she's losing, and all right, this is not gonna work, so we're gonna stop. Gives you the same kind of feel vibe for some of the Drow and the Drist stories. Yeah, so I like her. I hope she doesn't die. Here, it doesn't look like she dies. Again, this is another split kind of ending. Oh no, actually, even if you fight her, she will try to escape if she has like 50 hit points. 60 hit points left, right? When she's reduced to 60 hit points, she surrenders. So yeah. So I think she lives here in this adventure. You can kill her, it says. Aw, man, that sucks. Oh, here. Alternative. If the party reopens the portal and decides to fight Keolin even after she surrenders, the fight unfolds the same way, only she fights to the death. Oh, no. So again, you have another split ending. So one where she survives and one where she doesn't. And we don't know which is the canon ending, right? But based on how it's written, I think the intention here is Kaelin should survive, right? She surrenders and survives. So if the party had to reopen the portal but decides to fight anyways, okay, and then she fights to the death. So after she gives all the information, what then? Is since she surrendered, is she going to folk jail or Northlander jail? Or how is this gonna go after she surrenders? It doesn't really tell us. I'll give Keolin a 75% survival rate in this module. But yeah, it doesn't say what happens to her after she surrenders. Like, do we bring her to like a guild leader or something? To like the Jarl? What, do we like put her in manacles? I don't know. Do we even have manacles for giants? Let me go and you never see her again. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't say how to deal with her after giving the information. Or probably it's in the conclusion. Let's see. Kaelin wearing a brooch of shielding, which she either gives to the party as a show of good faith. Look at that. Oh, where is that? Look at that. She's nice. Or the party can take it from her corpse. No, we refuse to believe that she dies. We want her to survive. Because I think she'll be good in future adventures. You must live. No. Conclusion. After defeating Keolin, here we go. I think this is how they're gonna deal with it. After defeating Keolin, the party may return to. All right, so they didn't address it. They may return to Haldis, Ulf's Doctor, to get their payment. Although the mastermind behind the null threat has been stopped, the party has learned a larger conspiracy is at work. Yes, we need to learn about Scory. And in Moon 5-3, they confront Scory and the Guardians of the North, discovering the organization's true motives. And that is the end, okay, of the adventure. And I like this adventure. I don't know the author, but the way I read the adventure module, uh the design that he has, the interlude part, which is great, and then which is kind of skippable, right? If you want to skip it, you can skip it. And then you have those twists and encounters that's kind of like a 2-in-1. It adds flavor to the encounter and also gives the players or the characters the information that they need. And then you also have what else? And then you have this interesting villain, Keolin, right? This is, I think, I would say, a JP Chapleau level of adventure. Do you agree? Like, it's one of those adventures that are up there. Or same with Savannah's adventure. You know how she writes the adventure. Although it's different because with Savannah, when we read her adventure, like her descriptions are so good that you can imagine it right away. But here, how it was written, how it was designed, and the characters here, I love it. Okay. Fight mage, and then you have the maps, and all right, rewards. This is the last page, so let me unlock this and scroll up a bit. Ooh, there's a lot of info. Brooch of Shielding. What does it look like? It's made out of tarnished silver, which no amount of cleaning changes. It's in the shape of a stylized crow. Its wings spread in a half circle. And its eyes dark purple amethyst. The pin looks like a broken femur, which it holds in its claws. It's a natural cold to the touch regardless of the surrounding warmth. What? Okay. Is there a symbol? I'm trying to think of a symbol of a crow. I'm thinking of Raven because of Ravenloft. That would make sense, right? Imagine if Keolin learns shadow magic, not from like people from Shadowfell, but from like the people of Ravenloft or any of those domains in Ravenloft, right? That would be epic. That would be crazy. Okay. You know what? If it's not expanded, I think that's a good story point. Yeah. But I wonder what this is, what it means. So she has to, or if this is like the heraldry of Queen Koname. That's weird though. It's a crow with a femur. I don't think so. Okay. And then we still have a spell scroll of hallucinatory terrain, and then summer lesser demons. Okay. And that is it. That is the adventure, everyone. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I think so far this is one of my favorites in the Rising Shadow. So I think there's two now. So one is Savannah's because that one the box text there is crazy good. And I think the only one that one I thoroughly enjoyed, and the other one I think this is it. So there's just two adventures that I really really like a S tier adventure. So this is another one. There. Okay, there we go. And that's the end of Bloodlust Contained. Wow, what a way to end this week of Lore Academia. Yeah, it is definitely S tier. We're gonna have like a, I don't know when, but we're gonna have rankings of like adventures in the future. But this is up there. This is really good. So let's watch out for more Ben Sandfelder adventures. Let's see. Does he have more adventures here in DM's Guild? What's the name of this adventure? Bloodlust Restrained. Contained rather. So I'm just gonna post the link here because I'm in DM's Guild. So if you want to get this adventure, apparently I cannot post the link because I'm not logged in. Maybe here. There we go. All right. So if you wanna run this adventure, you can get it there. And then what else? Does Ben Sandfelder have more adventures? Riders in the Mist, Lonely Scroll Adventure Contest, Salt Marsh. Okay. All right. But no other Moonshae Isles adventure. And we'll see if and God's like a 5-star review. 2 ratings, 5-star review. Okay. I think we are good. We are good for this week. Tomorrow we'll find the conclusion, what happens in this trilogy, the Tides of Blood trilogy, the Moon5 series. Let's open that adventure. Just see the cover. Look at the cover. Moon5-3. Bloodlust Tempered. This is sorry, not yeah. You mean today's Thursday. So yeah, Monday next week we'll have that Bloodlust Tempered. This is the conclusion to the Tides of Blood trilogy. So we'll have that here. We're gonna deal with Scory. See what happens. If Scory will be an interesting villain like our Fomorian friend here, or like Keolin, or be a boring villain. We'll find out. And then next week we'll start streaming for we're gonna play Fallout 4, right? For a tabletop role-playing game project of mine. So we need to play Fallout 4. Just opinion. Artist painted cover on the last one. Rendered cover on this one. What do you mean? I think they're just using like stock photos for greater than the render. Yeah, no, because I think here, where is that? There we go. They're just using stock photos for the cover. That's it. That's why the styles are different. So these are like stock photos that they're using. Yeah. But anyway, Fallout 4. Yes, we're gonna just saying renders off it looks bland. Yeah. Fallout 4. So when is it gonna happen? It's hard because again, the schedule that we need, where I'm trying to go in between where a lot of people can at least watch from both sides of the world, right? So, and I don't want it to take over the Lore Academia schedule. So what's probably gonna happen? I'm gonna put the announcement on Discord, but the schedule is probably gonna be from 8 a.m. Manila to like noon. So when you wake up on your way to work, that's where I'll be streaming. And then, so that's Eastern time. That's going to be like 7 p.m. onwards. Right? So nighttime. So I think that's the best compromise I can have there. No, not tomorrow. Should I stream tomorrow? I don't know. Actually, I don't think I can. I have games tomorrow. I mean D&D games. I'll try, but the plan is next week. Next week is when we'll start playing Fallout 4. Okay. And yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be morning in Manila, nighttime in the other side of the world. We're trying to get the story there and learn about the world of Fallout, because yeah, I know a lot of people love it, and it's probably gonna be so fun to play that game. So yeah, I'm ready. I bought the game. It's on Steam. I open it just to check if like for like a minute or so, just to check if I can stream it. I haven't figured it out, but next week we'll do that. I played all the titles, so holding back a lot. Oh man, nice. Okay, I'll be relying on you guys, my fellow sages here, on how to play that game, because I suck at video games. All right, if there's like a mode selection there, we're gonna go easy mode. But yeah, all right, Fallout 4, learn stuff, and yeah, that's it. Forever bronze. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, that's it for me. Sages, thank you for staying in this stream. And can't wait to read the conclusion for the Tides of Blood trilogy. Hope you have a good weekend. Hope nothing bad happens. All good stuff. And yeah, if you're playing games, D&D games or whatever, good luck, have fun, and that's it. I think that is it for announcements and everything. Join Discord. That's it. Want more stuff? Learn about the new things. We're trying to get some emotes here. You can join our discussion and talk about more stuff. Emotes when one of our mods, Chaos Hammer, is working on it. So yeah, if you look at the Lore Academia chat, you'll see some stuff there. So we'll upload it when it's ready. Okay. Have a good weekend or good rest of the week, everyone. It's still Thursday, I forgot. Yeah, have a good rest of the week. And yep, I'll see you all Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. Manila. All right? Peace. Bye-bye.